Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda, and today is Friday, which means it's 5 on Friday time. So 5 on Friday is something that was started by Suey over at Suey's Book Banner, where each Friday we give 5 themed book recommendations. So we don't coordinate our themes, so I don't know what she's doing this week. She doesn't know what I'm doing this week, and we have very different styles. So if you go to Suey's, it's done with video and voiceover. It looks very slick. I set a timer for 5 minutes and go as fast as I can go without editing. We'll see. I have only missed the 5-minute mark once this year, so that's pretty good. But let's get started here. And we always start with the setting of the Apple Watch. Okay, I'm in Oregon. We are expecting like snowpocalypse tonight. Lots of snow, supposedly. Or maybe a dusting, or maybe none. We don't know. But there's supposed to be snow. I mean, my son's getting home from school early. They're closing school early because snow might happen. So I thought I would give recommendations for 5 snowy-ish books to read on a snowy day. So I'm going to start. I have 2 Agatha Christie's to start with. The first one is The Sidiford Mystery. I really enjoy this one. I was surprised when I read it because I didn't know anything about it, but it was really kind of delightful. Takes place in December. There's lots of tramping through snow. It's not a really Christmassy book, so it's just kind of a, oh, you see my light there? It's just kind of a snowy book. Sticking with Agatha Christie, but going ever so slightly more towards a holiday. And I do realize we're in January, but we have Hercule Poirot's Christmas. Now, the thing about this one is it's not very Christmassy. It's kind of like Halloween Party wasn't very Halloween-y. This is not super Christmassy, but it is snowy and cold, and it is a pretty good mystery, I will say. It is, I think, one of her stronger ones. Just not if you want a jolly Christmas story, because it's not very Christmassy. But it definitely has winter vibes. So even if it's January, I would still say this one is worth picking up. Now, I am going a little bit more towards the holiday in this next one. And that is, I can't pass this one up. And that is The Gingerbread Men by Joanna Corrence. So this is a psychological horror novel that's perfect for any time between spooky season through Christmas. Because it's spooky, so Halloween, and also it's Christmassy, so Christmas. But I do think that it can still be enjoyed in January. There's a lot of Christmas parties, but the bigger aspect of this book is just the snow. There's so much snow everywhere. It's always so cold and snowy. Snow, snow, snow. Christmas really only plays a part in that there's Christmas parties, but it's more about the cold and the snow. This one will make you cold. And it's fun. It's a really good book, and it's one of these ones where you don't realize what you've been reading until you finish it, if that makes any sense. So, disclaimer on the next one. I haven't read this one in probably over a decade. So I'm going by pure memory here. And I just remember there being a lot of snow in this book. And that is Peace Like a River by Leif Enger. I do remember this is a story about a boy in Minnesota. Something happens with his father. His father's kidnapped or something. And they go on a search for him. As I can tell, I'm really prepared for this. But I just remember there being a lot of snow in this book. I also remember really loving this book and there being beautiful prose. So this one I think would be good for this time of year. I think it takes place, if I remember correctly, it takes place late winter, like early March. Could be wrong. Again, it's been 10 years. Oh, I've got lots of time. I'm doing really well on this one. So the next one might be a little bit more of a stretch because the whole book is not set in winter, but I do feel wintry feeling it. There are winter scenes in it. And that's kind of what sticks with me. And if I were to think of it, I would think of the story being set in winter. And that is A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. So we all know Moscow can get really cold and snowy. It's also kind of a cold place, you know? And this guy's stuck in a hotel and he has to like watch the world. That's his sort of like house, you know, he's under house arrest sort of, but in a hotel. And there are, as I said, there are a lot of scenes that take place in sort of Russian winters, and that is a thing. But also when it's not in that, or if it's just in an interior scene or something like that, there's still kind of this feeling, I don't know if I want to say cold, but of being in from the cold, if that makes any sense. That's sort of the atmosphere with this book. And I think it would be really good to read as you're sitting, you know, by the window when it's snowing outside and you're in where it's warm. So Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. Peace Like a River by Leif Enger. The Gingerbread Men by Joanna Corrence. And 2 Agatha Christie's, The Sinniford Mystery and Hercule Poirot's Christmas. 36 seconds. Did it. So if you are in a place that is experiencing crazy weather right now, which is pretty much everywhere in the United States and Canada, admittedly, I hope that you stay safe. I hope that you stay warm. If playing in the snow is your thing, go play in the snow. It's not my thing anymore, but my kids love it. So I hope you have a great weekend. Let me know if you have any snowy reads to add to the list. And I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.